Okay, so I'm Mr. Wyrick. I'm here today to go over this is the wrong review. I'm here today to go over the Chapter 2 test review, some of the information that you're going to need, some of the things that you're going to need to know how to do leading up to this. So right off the bat, domain and range we seem to be having a lot of trouble with. Remember, if there's two separate parts to the graph, you have to have two separate parts to the domain or range. So just making up numbers for something like this would be negative infinity all the way up to, and I'll say that's like -5, parenthesis, because it's not equal. And then on this side of it, I've got a union. There's two parts. It's going to be, we'll say that's a +3, not a parenthesis. This one's going to be bracketed in because it's a filled in dot. It's equal to it, off into infinity, always parentheses with the infinities, never forget that, okay? Then, as I write the set notation on this one, I have to have two parts. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the word or. That's going to be x is less than -5, or x is greater than or equal to a +3. I don't have to have the infinities on this one. This is what it's going to look like. Now, the test is multiple choice, so when you're looking at it, all you got to say is, okay, this is domain, it's asking for range, cross off the ones that have y in there, and if you see it in two separate parts, cross off the ones that don't have two separate parts. It should cut down on the odds of you getting the problem wrong. If it's connected like this one, domain goes left to right, it's one piece. So this would actually be something like -4 is less than x, which is less than or equal to maybe a +3. And the other way it would look, -4, comma, 3 bracket. Don't forget though, range goes from bottom to top. So it doesn't matter if it's going down, it's going up, whatever, we don't care. This would be like a -5 with a bracket, and then going up to maybe a +3 with a parenthesis, and it would have like an R for range on there to indicate it. On the function notation, when we're dealing with function notation, it tells you f of x is equal to whatever. Here's the important ones, the ones that are going to be tricky. If it says f of x is equal to x squared plus 2, but it gives you, I want f of x plus 3, you have to square this. Now, if you remember FOIL, if you remember the boxes, whatever it is, your method for doing that, it doesn't matter. This would actually come up to, and I'm just hurrying, it's going to be x squared plus 6x plus 9. That would go in there because I'm squaring it, okay? And then I'm going to add 2, so it would be x squared plus 6x plus 11. That would be my answer. Since it's a multiple choice test, if you can't figure it out, make x equal to 2 and pick the answer that comes out to the same number when x equals 2, okay? Moving on from that, the translations. Remember, a, absolute value of b, x minus h plus k. This one's going to move it up and down. So if it's asking you to move the graph up and down, pick one that has a k value. If it's asking you to move the graph left and right, remember, it's the -h. It does the opposite of what you think it should. The b value is going to be stretch and compression. The a value is going to be stretch and compression. Just look out for that. Remember, it's multiple choice. It's going to ask you what's going on. When you need to find the vertex, if there's no b value, it's just going to be hk. It's really simple to locate. If you can't figure it out that way, type this into your calculator, whatever you've got, whatever equation it gives you, and then locate it either using the table or the minimum maximum value on the graph. If there are other ones of these that you can't figure out, make sure to look at them pretty close. If you don't remember the regressions, you just stay in that same lists and statistics. I'll help you get to it on the calculator on the test. I don't have a problem with that. But you need to remember it's menu, statistics, and then stat calculations to get to the regressions that you need to do. The equation's there, the numbers are all there. It can give you what you need to figure out in that information, okay? If there's other stuff that you can't figure out, come to me for tutorials, come to me for help. It's probably a little late to do that now, but give it a shot. Maybe you can learn something.